Welcome to Journey Through the Gospels. Here we explore the stories of the Gospel through history, faith, and cinematic storytelling. Before the resurrection morning, there was a darker day. Before the empty tomb, there was a hill outside Jerusalem, rough wood, public shame, and a body laid in silence before sunset. This is the story Christians remember on Good Friday: the trials, the cross, the death, and the burial of Jesus. It is the center of the Passion story and one of the most solemn scenes in all the Gospels. It begins in the final hours of the night after Jesus has been arrested. Jerusalem is crowded for Passover, and the city is tense under Roman rule. Religious leaders want a verdict, and Roman power will soon be asked to confirm a sentence. The night that began with prayer in the garden now moves toward judgment. Jesus is brought before the high priest and questioned. Witnesses speak against him, but their testimony does not stand up to scrutiny. The atmosphere is urgent, hostile, and unstable. In the middle of it all, Jesus remains restrained, answering only when required, while others press their case around him. Nearby, Peter waits in the courtyard. He has followed Jesus, but only from a distance. In the cold and confusion of the night, fear rises in him. Before dawn comes, he denies 3 times that he even knows the man he once promised never to leave. When morning arrives, Jesus is taken to Pontius Pilate. The accusations must now be framed in terms that Rome will take seriously. The issue is no longer only religious offense, but public order, kingship, and political threat. Pilate questions Jesus and does not find a clear case deserving death, yet the pressure around him keeps building. Luke tells us that Jesus is also sent to Herod Antipas. Herod wants a spectacle, not truth, and his soldiers mock Jesus before sending him back. Nothing in this process resembles justice. The hearings move from accusation to contempt, from legal procedure to public humiliation. The innocent one is treated as though he were dangerous. Then the crowd's choice is presented to the governor. Barabbas is released, and Jesus is handed over. Pilate yields to the demand for crucifixion. In that moment, power gives way to fear, and truth is pushed aside by noise. The sentence is not only death, but disgrace. Roman soldiers scourge Jesus and mock him as a false king. They dress him in a robe, place a crown of thorns upon his head, and strike him. Their actions are cruel and deliberate, yet the Gospels let the irony stand in full view. The one they ridicule as king is in truth the king they do not recognize. Jesus is then led out through the city toward the place of execution. At some point on the road, Simon of Cyrene is compelled to carry the cross behind him. Luke also remembers the women who mourn as Jesus passes by. The streets of Jerusalem, filled with the Passover movement, now become the path of a condemned man walking toward death. The place is called Golgotha. There, Jesus is crucified between criminals, lifted up outside the city on a rocky hill. Soldiers divide his garments. Passers-by mock him. Religious leaders speak with contempt. One of the criminals joins in the insults, while Luke tells of another who, in humility, asks to be remembered. Above Jesus is an inscription naming the charge against him, the King of the Jews. John gives special attention to that title and the public way it is displayed. Rome means it as accusation. The Gospel lets us see something deeper. Even in suffering and rejection, Jesus is not less than a king. He is revealed in a way no one expected. From the cross, Jesus speaks words the church has remembered with awe and sorrow. In one gospel, he prays for forgiveness. In another, he promises paradise to the repentant criminal. John shows him entrusting his mother to the beloved disciple. Matthew and Mark remember the cry of abandonment. John records his thirst and the final declaration that his work is finished. Luke preserves his final act of trust as he yields his spirit to the Father. The hours grow darker, The synoptic gospels speak of darkness over the land and of the temple veil being torn. Then Jesus dies. The moment is public yet deeply lonely. A centurion watching nearby responds with sudden awe. Around the cross, grief settles heavily over those who remain to the end. Some had fled, but not all. The women who followed Jesus remain as witnesses, watching from near or from a distance depending on the gospel's emphasis. Their presence matters because they stay through the suffering, the death, and the burial. They do not turn away from the sorrowful end. They see where the story pauses, and they will later become the first witnesses to what comes next. Because the Sabbath is drawing near, the burial must be done quickly. Joseph of Arimathea, a respected man who had not agreed with the decision against Jesus, goes to Pilate and asks for the body. John adds the presence of Nicodemus, bringing spices for burial. This is no triumphal procession, it is a quiet act of reverence at the end of a brutal day. Jesus is taken down from the cross and wrapped for burial. He is placed in a new tomb nearby, one cut in stone. The women observe carefully where he is laid because they intend to return after a Sabbath. The burial confirms that his death is real. The body is not missing. It is laid in the earth with urgency, grief, and care. Matthew alone tells us that the tomb is secured and guarded. A stone is set in place. The entrance is closed. The city moves toward rest, but the grief of the disciples and the silence of the tomb remain. Good Friday ends not with resolution, but with waiting. For Christians, the cross is not remembered merely as a Roman execution. It is remembered as the place where the suffering love of Christ is seen most clearly. He is mocked, yet he does not answer violence with violence. He is condemned, yet the Gospels continue to show his innocence. He dies in weakness before the world, yet the Church sees in that death the deepest strength of divine mercy. Good Friday teaches us not to look away too quickly. It asks us to stand still before suffering, injustice, and sacrificial love. It reminds us that before the joy of Easter, there was real pain, real blood, real mourning, and a real tomb. The story does not rush past sorrow, it passes through it. So the day closes in solemn silence. The cross stands on the hill. The women remember the place. The stone covers the tomb, and the world waits in darkness for the dawn that has not yet come. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more gospel stories.